Talofa lava, welcome back to Tangata Pasifika. Well, it's dominated the headlines around the world this week. Donald Trump's shock win over Hillary Clinton in the race for the US presidency. Joining me now to give his view on the result and what it means for the Pacific is Washington-based consultant and chairman of the Leadership Council of the George Washington Business School, Lele Tuisamoa Lelaulu. Malolo Soifua Malalangi Mama. Welcome to the show.
Malolo 58. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Lele, firstly, I just want to ask, were you at all surprised by the election result?
I was sort of yes and no, son. I was surprised that that it happened because of all the shock and things. But there were a lot of people who said that this was going to happen, and so there was that. And then I was surprised by by how much, and the demographics of how people shifted over. So, I was surprised by the size of it, but I wasn't too surprised by the result.
Yeah. And in terms of the reaction, I guess, from the Pacific people in the United States, do they have an opinion at all? Were they fussed about who they wanted, or were they split down the middle, I guess, like the rest of the country?
I think they reflected the rest of the country in the sense that, we have Samoans all over the United States. And, of course, a lot of our Aingas over there are from American Samoa. So a lot of them are in the socio-economic category of the people that would... They're certainly not stockbrokers and things like that. So the demographic is that these are the people, the Palangi people who voted for Trump are in this, our people are in that category as well. So indications are that a lot of them did vote for Trump. And if you talk to your cousins in Utah and Idaho, and places like that, you'll find that there was quite a bit of support for the president-elect.
And that's a surprising thing. I guess a lot of support went for Trump that people probably didn't expect. So, I mean, you probably expect some of the Pacific people to vote for Clinton, but as you say, it is quite mixed. You're getting a lot of people voting for Trump like Pacific people.
Yes, I mean, the demographics, the people who voted for or against Hillary were, they're pretty skewed. They're pretty amazing. For example, while it wasn't surprised that women without university training voted 84% for Trump, what was surprising is that women with university degrees only 51% of them voted for Trump.
Educated people voted for Trump as well.
Yes, I mean, they couldn't just blame it on the deplorables. No. I mean, there were an awful lot of other people pretending that they were going to vote one way, but actually went for Trump for various reasons.
And in terms of the Pacific nations, Samoa, Tonga, Niue, what will this mean for them in terms of having Trump as their president? Do you think it's going to be a positive thing for those island nations or negative, or is it a wait-and-see approach?
It's a wait-and-see approach, but also, obviously with the Trans-Pacific Partnership, Trump said that he'd hit that on the head. But then again, it was already having difficulties, so I don't know how much Clinton could have pushed it through. Then you have the security issues. We already have American Marines in Australia. And of course, we have the largest American military presence in Hawaii. So there's a lot of security issues which may, certain things may change ever so slightly, but not that much. But, for the Pacific, we, in this election cycle, because you didn't see them, there are two Samoan women who elected to Congress.
That's amazing, isn't it?
First, from American Samoa, of course, you have Aumua Mata Radewagen, the very hard-working congresswoman from Tutuila, who was re-elected. And then also re-elected was Tulsi Gabbard. Wow. Tulsi Gabbard is re-elected to Hawaii. She's a two-time combat vet from Iraq. She's a major in the army. And she's amazingly bright. And this is the woman who was the vice chairman of the Democratic National Party who resigned to go and work with Bernie Sanders. So if Bernie had gotten in, the chances are that she would have been the vice presidential candidate, right? So there's that. And then also plus the fact that the most exciting news, I think, is that Seuli, Dwayne Johnson is actually considering a run for the next presidency.
Wouldn't that be fantastic, a Samoan as president?
It would be, but the thing is too, the guy, the Q ratings, which, as you know, the Q ratings in America determines how popular a person on TV or screen is. He has the highest Q rating of anyone in the States.
Massively popular, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's also probably the highest paid actor in Hollywood. This guy is much more popular than Ronald Reagan was. And look at Reagan, he was a landslide in. And the guy, everyone sees him as a decent, caring family man who actually understands issues and goes out of way to help people who need assistance. And he's, he was seen at the Republican National Convention. So, he could go Republican, but the thing is, he could also go the other way. It depends on who really courts him. But I think I think Sayuli, Dwayne Johnson, is a real possibility for a presidential run. Yeah. But first he has to run for something else, like a congressman.
Yeah, and then get in that one. But quickly, I just want to talk about climate change very quickly. Donald Trump's come out and says it's all a hoax. Tuvalu, I'm thinking of a tiny Pacific nation over there. Will they be a bit worried about this, having a president who's openly declared that it's all a hoax, being in terms of climate change?
I think most of us, most of our people who live in small island and atolls particularly should, they'd be very worried at this stage. But then again, on the brighter side, I mean, you look at Trump, he's a guy who probably has attention deficit disorder, right? So he probably can't even remember what he said about climate change a few months ago. So the chances are that once he sees the reality of the global situation and the cost of not acting on climate change, he may shift. Yeah. That's the good thing about him. He's not an ideologue. He doesn't come out and say, we've got to do this because blah, blah, blah. Right. You know, he's a guy who got elected. Yeah, so he's, let's hope that, that there are some very sensible voices in his ear to ensure that not just the Pacific remains safe, but the rest of us worldwide. And I think it'll happen.
All right, Te Lava Mole Avanor, thank you for joining us on the show, Lily. All right, well, after the break, Pacific fashion from a puka puka perspective.
If I wanted to make change or invest in what the future holds for us in the industry, I've got to step up to the mark.